Ha. He etiefo Michelle a futu baako a mede bema wo bia wo tie me bia no and say do not ever in your life be desperate for anything. Don't ever show desperation for anything in life. Here, once you are desperate, you start making rookie mistakes. You can't rookie mistake, who making mistake. I said, Adiana, who ye hu ejumano. I said, the who nim hu she. So, be sure say silly mistakes. If you are desperate, that's what will happen to you. It hurts me. And the same way amazes me. Se me melodies amitiye, me mfa me nine say NC law classroom da. But it hurts me say, I can sit here and I can call out certain court cases due to nipakrono arguments, me nsaka nipakrono. Nenkrata wode kokot ni nyama wo bisa. Na me checke through the laws Ghana mra wo koti. Na me di go through na me hu ne say asumesi asem a wo ka no ensisi so. Asumesi obentin asem a wo ka no emfa. Mitumi tina ha e ma meka say nipa kru nso na Ghana mra yese wono na wo oye tretrefo panyin wo Ghana mra mu nti abanze na nipa ko na ngasa no ntumi ntim mra na si hu ne say ade a wo kokota akopre no emfa. I've sat here and I've done analysis on the Chief Justice case. Nini na nsɛm meka no you drew court and one of judges nika. Min two minansi classroom, law classroom da. Enye se bia ma bin obi biara sebe ohwe Ghana mbremu bi anim se maame na asɛm no enye de maame na asɛm ne mfa. Nanso desperation and the ema maame no oye silly mistakes. Akɔ court 3 times in Kwan was a dien ya bon sem negu. In someone crofo de court ye bogu ye different people eko court 3 times ya bogu. Someone crofo de court ye bogu ye no usore ya eno ana unso de akọ. You don't need anyone to tell you say asem we odeko ye bebo egu because court abo 3 different cases in the same light egu. Unso akọ fan sem na de akọ court. Why? Because you see, I don't say say me ankasa na meba intino say other people na ba no mo abogu dia ene me meba ne de mamu mbongu. Same fate ene ye bo enu nso gu ye. Asem no wan fe bia wen yi bia mfim. Wan fe bia nka ho. Asem na wasanso ekukuru the same thing. Say the same thing me dey call a Supreme Court biom for review. Abra ye bo hu se niku ye unanimously. Ose me sanso ko Supreme Court for review. You don't need a magician to tell you say you lose. Assembly baby inso no wasanso peja de akọ high court. You don't need a magician to tell you lose. And the high court about Chief Justice Torkornoo cases no egu. Emma high court in some more can ekran say omo ka che ma me she is abusing the court processes. Na obronika say who abuse court processor. Nini na tre say adie we obi anim say wo de abama ya boegu wo de abama ya boegu uguso na still wo de ba aden wo ha ne sen asa sisia no de oye ne say wa sheda na opese wo ha ya adwen asem wa judges na ka Chief Justice the suspended Chief Justice Torkornoo no o say High Court throws out CJ Torkornoo case cites abuse of process. You say or abusive processes. This is a rookie mistake. And it shouldn't even be coming from a lawyer. Nankampese. A former Chief Justice. Lawyer mpo any question yes are mistakes because lawyer mpo nim say yenyesa. But a tra lawyer am a former Chief Justice. And it begs the question again. Say Emra na mami wo ye Chief Justice no. Sebin prediasa. Sebe prediasa. Iti ni ye sure say mami no nim Ghana mbra ne de. You see obia wo be bisa sa question ni bia na bia obi aka so na question be na ne ba ko ni bisa no. Obi obi bisa sa question ni bia na see the issue is that any me personally, Metro say, Mamma no ni membrano, because she has been a judge for so many years, over 30 years, right? Nti personally, make us a mammy no ni membrano. But the Emma ende, bibia e luki sano. Eye, the desperation na American. We are going to read the article. But before that, say, we fu eson. Ana we notice say we fu ashase say eye kese amesrel eye yare. At the end of this video, metre mu die nti asrade a eba begu we fu ho no. You are putting yourself at risk. Say one hwe ya obetumi nya stroke. Nyame mpengu. One hwe ya obetumi nya akomayare nyame mpengu. One hwe ya obetumi nya type 2 diabetes nyame mpengu. But you have to do something about it. Me hey, I was in that position. I did something about it. 3 months pe ena mefu ejoye. De me ye no. Me de nini na true book. Obroni se wo pese odi BBC obibi ni afashe book mu. Maye masa de na enye no kware. Nti se wo tie me na pese wo sua senia naturally obetumi ama wefu ajo in 3 months a pe book ni bi na to. E wo comment box ni mu. Mo amo complain say mu ni makenkan no. Maye mo nso mo de me ya makenkan book no e na metwa ho video. E na kenkan no me tretre mu wo twi mu. Nti se won ti brofo uni makenkan kra na unsu book no benya bi. Nini na wo comment box ni mu. Nti the first one no. Wo hwe comment box ni mu a links ni ye miensa. The first link eye akenkan video no. The second link eye book no so benya book no wo phone so eno ne friend e-book. The third link eye hard copy. Eno no so benya book na nkasa wo nsem na wo kan. Nti no de wo pe no we choose comment box nim. The first eye video no and a second one no eno betua mobile money. Na utia mobile money ni wi a stay on the page. Men click bibia stay on the page. Obi say download or button bibe show. O click ya e be download amount. Video no be download and a book na nkasa so be download. Nti dia open no na wafa. Now yenko ye mame eye Gertrude Torkornoo ensem no emu. I say the Human Rights Division of the High Court in Accra has dismissed a judicial review application filed by suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo, ruling that the case constituted an abuse of court process and that the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain it. The ruling delivered by Justice Kwame Amoako marks the collapse of a second legal challenge by the suspended Chief Justice over the ongoing proceedings for her potential removal from office under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. This judicial review follows an earlier constitutional interpretation case filed by Justice Torkornoo at the Supreme Court, which is still pending. However, an injunction application she filed to halt the impeachment proceedings pending the outcome of the Supreme Court case was previously dismissed. Filed on June 9, 2025, the judicial review application sought 9 reliefs, including a series of declarations that the Article 146 committee investigating her acted unlawfully. The Chief Justice also requested the court to quash proceedings of the committee and prohibit it from continuing without providing authenticated copies of the petitions and responses. And you see, the same issues are what they are dying the ECOWAS Community Court. No, those were the same issues are already here. Human Rights Court and a Human Rights Court no abon nsem negu. Court no the internal court ne bon nsem negu ye. What's the court's reasoning? I say in his ruling, Justice Amoako categorized the reliefs into 2 groups: those dismissed as an abuse of court process and those dismissed for want of jurisdiction. Inti oha dismissal no in 2 groups. Cases ni bi no yesi we abuse of court process. Not just say in some way I would ba haye o haya adwen keke. Emfa ya bon sem negu. Now so chinchine try. I said the wo ye no unim say wa asem nye den so court e wo ho nti no me nko court wo ho nti me nko court me so unim say wa asem nye de judge no nsem a wo ka no in church mu no ye ka say abuse of court a sa na metumi a treat na wate ase. And at the other one, no, want of jurisdiction, judge na ka say, or no court or high court or no, only to me so be this our case no. And to think that the suspended Chief Justice, who was more like the chief of all the judges and the chief of the courts, doesn't even know. Say cases be where you can call high court. Then there was this case now could do high court. You see, I tell you, if you are desperate, if you are showing desperation, you make rookie mistakes. Obey your mistakes, a man in question our expertise and our experience. As a reliefs dismissed as abuse of court processes, the court found that several of the Chief Justice's claims were already before the Supreme Court in a constitutional interpretation case. This included allegations that the committee was proceeding unlawfully due to the registry's failure to provide authenticated petitions and responses. And you see, I told you here, say, maame no, on fan assembly being filmu, on fan mean shemu, in some way kukru, all the courts are all in the same cases. So, it's a high court and say, asem way out there about too many me. Unim say, what the aqua down in Supreme Court. That Supreme Court judges in Nima Wamunya Ndim ye. Na me a me high court, no sanso the ababa too many. Na ma me a day na utri. You see the level of rookie mistakes are. Yeah, mami woye. And this is what the judge is telling her. I say a request to prohibit the committee from continuing its work without those authenticated documents. And also a echo wasobi. A sanso high court. A sanso Supreme Court. As he claims that the committee was wrongfully conducting adversary proceedings rather than an impartial inquiry. Allegations that the committee's composition was unlawful. Justice Amoako held that relitigating these issues at the High Court, while they are under active consideration by the Supreme Court, amounted to duplicative litigation and an abuse of court process. And every single person knows this. Obienim. Akwa say, utifie. Obienim say, ebia asemba efia. Eye ebia wo papa. Ene eka asem no. Okay. Asemba mufia o papa na eka because if you hono papa na ehwe also and now papa na ehwe mo so into ni unua enya asem o dia kwa akoto papa enim o papa say okay metena asem no so me di asem no inti no me dem waye bebre mo o papa nya ndi asem ni wie ya nse o dia kwa akoto o wofa enim o ko o wofa hono na o dia kwa akoto event saying o sewa enim. Now they are quite to papa Adam Funso in him. Oh, papa say, asem no, maka, ye better not in the idea asem no. Ye nyen di case no. Into odi kwa tu sa microphone in him no, okay, into person mu no mu di case ne mawana. Because at the end of the day, oh papa ne asem wa wo di no, and now papa and okan e wom. And in this case, Supreme Court ne kan e wom. Judge ne nsem okan no. Into the case now kwa to Supreme Court in him. Now the same case about to me High Court in him. Then now be say me ye. Mindimao. Because Mindimao cran at the end of the day, the Supreme Court bekan the woman. Intino de na ope. Into the aquacoto papa anymore. The same case with the aquacoto or of a nimusi nim and no papa down for him. Omundimawana. Omun ruling ma. Omudimawa at the end of the day. And your papa nana still will be the case no. You see the level. So when who rookie mistakes and they mami woye. It's basically that's what the judge is saying. And then the judge neka say only jurisdiction over Sansem no any or say the remaining release were struck out on jurisdictional grounds. This included request to nullify the committee's sittings on the basis that the Chief Justice was denied a fair hearing, allegations that her legal team was prevented from representing her during the proceedings, claims of procedural breaches of the Constitution and the High Court civil procedure rules, an application for an order of certiorari to quash the committee's proceedings. Also, the court held that it could not inquire into these matters as they related directly to proceedings of the Article 146 Committee, which under Article 146(8) of the Constitution are to be held in camera and shielded from external review. Every single thing a judge Nekano, we've read the Constitution and we've said the same thing on this platform. So for me, I'm not surprised. Montreal mo your comment box ni mo. Medasi. And the Ghana for bebre, yare a ekuyen, stroke, diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Na saa yare we ni na no, the underlying factor adia wo broni friend visceral fat. Now her screen is so we doctor website. Now what trust visceral fat. Visceral fat wraps around your organs, creating inflammation and interfering with organ function. This fat causes a big belly. Now one thing about visceral fat and it's engrofo Rebecca, oh yebenu me bibidru ebema yefu atwe, yebenu me dru ebema mefu atwe, visceral fat no oboa, obi obeka do so we dru bia obenum na wefu atwe no oboa. Because belly fat no e dru bia ni ho ebetumi amana akofom. You only lose belly fat when you decide to lose weight. Na me ti he, me obi a na first me obi belly fat no na me obi visceral fat no na me obi. Ende mini ohwa mefu atwe na enyama me ye no method bi a me friend no the WWE method me dia throw book no or comment box ni mo so open book ni bi ato a eno ane se wa click comment box ni mo na tre se what to book no ana screen so book ni din your action plan for weight loss na wa click na wa pe book no ato ye ka eduro aduane a yedi obi a wo be ka tro so ye pedro ebema yefu atwe bia no me se oboa mesrew eduro ye aduane ebedi nti metre we aduane obedi ni na wo book nim ene nyama e wo se wo ye nti no get the book and then live healthy